TV channel 403, this is eNCA, you're watching All Angles. President Cyril Ramaphosa recently informed Parliament that almost 3,000 soldiers will continue patrolling the streets. 30,000, I believe, is the number, patrolling the streets until March. The deployment is set to cost in the region of 233 million rand. And while areas in Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal may benefit from the Army's presence following last year's unrest, people on the Cape Flats say much more needs to be done. They say crime increased during the festive season. Let me take you to eNCA's Ronald Masinda, who is visiting hotspots in the areas around the Cape Flats. So clarify for me first, before we go ahead, Ronald, the numbers as they relate to the Cape Flats as being separate from the numbers nationally of the deployment of the police.
All right, so the numbers nationally should be around 2,700. That's quite a decrease from the initial numbers. And that deployment will be nationally, and it is expected to end in March. But where we are, Tulas, we are in Bonteheuwel, very interesting area when one talks about the deployment of SANDF, because around 2019, early 2019, there were reports of around 30 people being murdered in Bonteheuwel alone per month. That was on average. And then when we saw the deployment of the SANDF in this area, that number reduced quite drastically. At times, we even heard of no deaths whatsoever per month in Bonteheuwel. But things have suddenly changed. I mean, the past few months, we've been hearing of quite a number of incidents of gang violence. And recently, on the 12th of December, a lady was gunned down, a 29-year-old Monique Jacobs. She was caught in the crossfire of rival gangs, and she was with her 6-year-old child. We are joined now by the mother of the late Monique Jacobs. Miss, thank you so much for your time. Can you please come closer to me? Thank you so much. It's so tough for you. Just talk us through some of the events, Vanessa, leading up to the death of your child.
Actually, I don't know nothing about what is going on. The killer is outside. He's roaming around our streets. I look at him. Wherever I go, I see him. All I want to know is, why is he outside? Why isn't he in jail for my daughter's murder? Because everybody knows it was him. And what is the police actually doing about this situation? I've got nothing, no answers, nothing. I know nothing. And I mean, it's not right, because he's a killer, man. He killed my daughter. He killed her while she was on her way home with the child. He killed her. He knows her, man. She's not a person that he don't know, but he knows who she is.
Vanessa, I know it's a very difficult time. I'm not ask you to keep your eye on me. What do the police have to say about this? I mean, you haven't even heard about any sort of court appearances?
Nothing. I heard nothing. I actually don't know even why is he outside still. Was he taken in custody for a murder? I know nothing.
Now we do know that even your child, her child, 6-year-old, was around when she was gunned down. How does she feel? Has she gone through counseling?
Not yet. We still waiting on Labour. They said they're going to help me. The inspector that got the case say that they're going to help us with counseling for her, but I'm still waiting on him for counseling.
Now, you told me earlier, and I was quite disturbed by hearing this, that there were even threats on the life of Monique's daughter.
Yes, I heard today again that apparently they're coming for my grandchild.
Why is that?
Because she was the one that saw everything.
That witnessed the crime. As a community, what are people saying? What are people saying, the people who perhaps were eyewitnesses to this crime?
They all give the statements, but they are scared to be a witness. That's why, I think that's why there is no arrest made to him for my daughter's murder.
Is there anywhere else you can stay just for the sake of the daughter of Monique and yourself?
No, there's nowhere else. But God is in control, man. I believe in my Heavenly Father, and only God can protect us during this circumstance that we are in now and the pain we are going through.
Monique, we've heard of quite a number of, Vanessa, we've heard of quite a number of other shootings, related shootings. I mean, you were saying even yesterday someone was gunned down here in Bonteheuwel. Is it time for more deployment, SANDF deployment, to come to this area?
I think there must be more, yes, because it looks like it's just going out of the control because they can shoot, kill, and they can walk free in the roads because tomorrow they can do it to somebody else and nothing will happen to them.
And very lastly, how would you like Monique to be remembered?
Well, she was, like everybody said, she was a loving person. In our household, Monique always stand up with that grim on her face, that moodiness. That's the way I remember my daughter. But outside, she got that personality that actually drew everybody. Her memorial was like a big memorial. Even her funeral was more bigger than the memorial. And everybody knows her as the funny person, which I never knew about my daughter. She was a loving person, and she only loved her daughter.
Right. Vanessa, thank you very much indeed. Well, told us a very, very touching story, but many unanswered questions for the Jacobs family.
Yeah, heartbreaking stories of crime there, Ronald, and also importantly exploring what has been deployed by way of trying to find solutions, including the deployment of South African National Defence Forces members in areas like the one where you are. That's eNCA's Ronald Masinda out in Bonteheuwel in the Western Cape. I've got to make this correction before I go to the break, because in case there's any confusion, earlier on I sort of corrected unnecessarily, because in my industry, the last thing you need is an anchor who is too clever for their own good. The team tells me in their written script that it's nearly 3,000. In my own wisdom, I change it to 30,000 SANDF members. No, it's not. No, it's not. It is 2,700 SANDF members nationally, and I've got to correct that to avoid any confusion. Still to